Hey everyone, and welcome back to Master Sight. Today I have game one of Iowa GT, where I face off against Jonathan Neessen and his Nightstalkers. So it's going to be a nice mirror match of Nightstalkers. But we have Inspiring still, so that's fun. So we're gonna jump into his list and we'll go through the game. So in this game, first rounds was gonna be hold the line. So Jonathan's army, he has two hordes of scarecrows, two troops of phantoms. He has four hordes of butchers. He has two shadow hounds, which this isn't right. One of them should have J Boots. The other one has Helm of the Drunken Ram. The two Soul Flares, which I believe one of them had an item I forgot, and it didn't come up in the game. So he has a Planer and the Portal of Despair. So 14 drops and a big 33 unit strength. So that is a lot more unit strength than I have. I think I have 27, but I have quite a few more drops. So here is Jonathan, and here is our board. So Iowa GT, we have a unique terrain piece that provides some sort of unique buff or aura. In this case, paper's covering it, but it's this giant piece of impassable here. And what this thing is going to give is each of our player turns, one friendly unit within 6 inches of this will gain the Bane Chant 2 spell. So essentially, like for me, if I have my Butcher Flesh Ripper within 6 inches, he can cast Bane Chant 2 on one of my friendly units then. So cool, fun. It actually is probably going to help me more than Jonathan, just because he has much higher defensive units. But yeah, it's something. And then the terrain, as you can see here, so we have the big impassable cutting off roughly a third of the board here. Another impassable in the top left. There are another impassable bottom left here. A couple of flat pieces of terrain in the center deployments, a couple obstacles here and here, forest on the left, forest on the right, and then the one hill is situated in the middle here. So, as far as the scenario goes with hold the line, the about middle, a little bit to the left middle of this hill is where the cutoff is for the left side. The center goes all the way to the edge of the impassable piece here, and so the only way to control the right hand side is being on the far right of that impassable. So deployment wise, Jonathan took quite a bit of time. We'll see the clock here in just a moment, but he took a long time for his deployment, and he decided on his Shadowhounds out to the left. So J-Boot Shadowhounds here, Helm of the Drunken Ram here. He has a horde of butchers in the back. His scarecrows here. This is one of his soul flares. He has another horde of scarecrows in the center field here with phantoms behind. This is his portal of despair. He has a horde of butchers, his portal or a planar apparition, the other soul flares, and then two hordes of butchers out on the right with a troop of phantoms to back them up. Yeah, so and then for me on my left, I'd have Blade of Slashing, Dread Fiend. I have the uh, Horde of Scarecrows. This is Helm of the Drunken Ram and Tormentors. Both of my Lightning Bolts, Mind Screech went out here. I have a Butcher in the center. I have another triple stack of Scarecrows, Tormentors, and then this is J Boots on this unit. We have the portal in the center. Then I have a troop or regiment of Scarecrows with the troop of Tormentors behind. This is Blood of the Old Kings, and then I have Hexed or Trickster's Wand, Dreadfiend here, Butcher, and Last Horde here. So yeah, this is how movement goes. I won the roll off, and I think I won the roll off. Either way, I got first turn. And as you can see, Jonathan's already down to 50 minutes. So he took 15 minutes on deployment there, which was a pretty big chunk of time. He was definitely debating on this right flank, his left flank over here. He wasn't for sure if he should load it up. And the issue for him was that I had, several more drops than him. So if he doesn't put, he put one horde of butchers and the phantoms here. If he doesn't put the other horde of butchers, will I just put 4 units down over there and get that? So he was really, thinking a lot on that aspect of it. But yeah, so movement wise, this is how I maneuver. I don't push forward on the right hand flank. Basically, I'm saying I need to see what he does over here because if he pushes forward with everything, then I'm probably just gonna give him that right hand flank and fight in the middle and for the left. But if he starts, peeling away over here, then I might, eventually contest for it. Probably not going to push in there anytime quickly because it's a pretty narrow passage, and um, you know, I'm just going to get grinded down if he's able to, protect his flank with the impassable and just have front charges going. So, but yeah, otherwise we just push forward aggressively with everything we can. The Mind Screeches get onto the obstacle here, so they both have clear shots with their lightning bolts into the far left unit over here. And that is, what we were trying to do. I bring up the hex. There's nothing that's going to need to be healed, but I go ahead and hit the mind screen or the planer anyway because I don't want it to be casting Mind Thirst on me. Uh, this green dice you'll see for the tournament is going to be my inspiring dice. So when the Portal of Despair is alive, this dice is going to be placed where I have the unit that inspires. So, yep. So pretty straightforward. We do 3 wounds over here with the lightning bolt. Not great with clear shots, but what is great is when you roll a big number for a waiver. I think I rolled a boxcars or an 11. So we got a waiver on these dogs out here, and I'll take it. Not expected at all, but I'll take it. Then Jonathan pushes forward. He maneuvers to allow for everything to kind of have a front. He does push the butchers up to where their leader points just on the hill. He wants to be able to see past. And then the dogs had to maneuver, nimble move to get out around over here. He just backs up with the other ones and regens down to 1 wound. Over here, he does decide that he can't commit too much to this right hand flank, so he pulls a horde of butchers over towards the center. And yeah, he's just positioning more or less over here. Staying outside of my charge range for pretty much everything. I mean, a Dreadfiend could go run in by itself, but nothing else is in charge range. So, and as you can see, he took another 15 minutes on his turn 1. So he is down almost half of his clock here on the first turn of the game. So that is definitely going to be a problem for Jonathan. So shooting wise, he's trying to reposition his Mind Screech over here. Yeah, because he knows my shooting's over on that side. So my turn. I go ahead and move forward. I keep my horde to where it's a front charge from the J Boots unit back here. I keep my Dreadfiend behind the forest so that they can't see me. So nobody can see me actually. And then we're just kind of pushing forward. We do position in such a way that we have some wind blasts options onto these butchers because no need to give butchers a charge if you don't need it. I did also position in such a way that this unit cannot fit between my horde and my butcher, and nor can they fit to get around and fit this way. So no charges onto my mind screeches for him. And then the center, we just push forward a little bit, but I'm still maintaining the ability to reposition some of these units over to the right hand flank. What I did here this turn was these uh, phantoms um, have the ability to be a nuisance and get in behind my lines and threaten it. Um, so I didn't want that to happen. So what I did was I moved the horde this way, and I basically said, "All right, you can take the flank with your phantoms if you want, but my horde is now covering, this whole bubble of space here, and then my butcher is also covering, this space here. So I'm just creating a dead zone where he can't actually land safely with this unit. He has to go further out towards the edge of the board. Um, so yeah, that's what I felt like was the best option this turn. And you know what? We're just gonna keep getting lucky. We rolled and did 2 wounds, I guess. And looky there, that's a box card nerve roll. So yeah, I remember now. First nerve roll of the game against these guys was a box cars. So it was a 13 total or a 15 total. I apologize because I did 3 wounds. Wavered them. Second roll of the game did 2 wounds. Roll another box cars. It, it's stupid, but at the same time, um, knowing playing Nightstalkers, knowing the lack of inspiring, at least on top of turn one, he hadn't moved his portal yet, so he couldn't give his inspiring out. If I did 4 wounds, the whole unit would have been dead with that one nerve roll. And this one, I believe he had given inspiring out here, knowing that I was going to shoot. So this one wouldn't have killed it, but I mean, the spiky nerve rolls are absolutely silly, and it's unlucky for Johnathon that he's wavered, but it's also could have been worse if my damage and nerve rolls were on. Even if the damage was average, I should be doing about 4 wounds a turn if I don't have cover shots. So, but yeah, this is how it looks going into bottom of 2. Um, and as you can see, I didn't mention, but this is where the butchers ended up after the wind blast. So this is Johnathon's turn. Yeah, my center I had moved up a little bit, but I wasn't allowing charges with his horde of these guys. So I kept out of his scarecrow range. I was okay with the other stuff coming into me there. This scarecrow unit, though, I was okay with just because of the odd angle here, and it allows me to just kind of play chicken here. Not chicken, but lame duck. I don't know what the best terminology is. Basically, his horde sitting here, it blocks off more of his units than it does of mine, and I'm okay just sitting there grinding. He brought his Portal of Despair in, which isn't going to do a whole lot of damage, but it does just hold me back. Um, but the units behind it aren't held back because they fly, so it doesn't actually hinder me too much. It does block off a little bit of line of sight, is all. So I'm okay with it. He is holding me, I think, just out of the center right now, but it's early enough on in the game that it doesn't really matter. So on the left, he does bring the dogs back up. They regen their last wound off. He does, I think, either regen or no, he gets the heal because I failed to cast Hex this turn onto him. So he's back to full with those guys. Um, but those guys are effectively stuck because of their position here. And having been wavered, they could have nimble pivoted and backed up straight this way, but yeah, the butchers didn't want to go running up on the hill to make way for them. So, and then on the right, he does go around, so further around the outside, which I'm okay with. And then he brings the butchers forward further because they were having to waddle through those woods. So, and this is how it looks on for the turn. He does not break because the way he was positioned, it was a hindered charge with his horde, and yeah, portal's not breaking anything. So yeah, going into my turn 3, and we ended up getting a little bit more aggressive on the left hand flank. So um, let's zoom in over here. So these I just use bases because yeah, they weren't lining up. But Troop of Tormentors ended up on the left, and a hindered Scarecrow unit here. Um, he healed them already, so they're back to full. I don't think I killed these guys probably on averages, but I did get the dread in range. So the Troop of Tormentors should have 8 hits and roughly 6 wounds. The Horde that's hindered should have about 4 or 5 hits, a couple more wounds. So we're looking at like 8 wounds, 9 with the dread, a 7 twice, or a 5 waivers. Um, I'm okay with it just because the horde's the only thing that's getting countercharged. My troop is outside of front arc over here, so yeah. And then I'm also positioning up on the hill here. The butcher just moved in position, so that way blocks off all of the charges into the flank of this guy's here. So Tormentor troop up on the hill, threatening to jump in. So just trying to get multiple angles going. Because they weren't doing anything sitting back here waiting for the Portal of Despair to die. Because, well, we're not fighting the Portal of Despair right now. So on the right, we just position to look back towards the center. I do bring the Soul Flares over this direction, which is a big reason why they were still kind of held back behind the lines a little ways. So position so that nothing can jump over like his Soul Flares. And then I'm also positioned to where his troop can't get the rear of these units over here. So they can charge the front of the Soul Flares if they want, or a Butcher. But yeah, that is the options I'm giving him. Obviously, or he can charge here. But this positioning, I'm just within 18 inches, so this allows me to Wind Blast his Butcher Horde and utilize the terrain to keep him slowed up for another turn here. Yeah. So on the left, our shooting does the shooting stuff again. It was hindered shots or cover shots, but we did better than we have done. So we did 5 wounds this time, and guess what? We got another waiver because of the dread was in range. So it was effectively a 6. I got exactly what I needed to waiver. We did our average of 8 wounds that we were talking about here, and with the dread in range, we got a waiver again. Um, it's an okay result. I think it is what it is. And yeah, nothing else really happened. I had charged the flank. We put some wounds onto this unit here, and then the horde actually went off, did 4 wounds to the portal. So I think it was actually 5 wounds because this is after Radiance of Life. So yeah, we're in a fine position. I was hoping we'd get a kill here, but getting that waiver was really nice over there. So can't really complain too much. But took a little bit of gamble. If it paid off, I think we're in a really good position. Where we're not giving up flanks, we've already effectively turned the flank, and we can just kind of roll down the line from there. but not killing it. We're gonna be held off here, and it's gonna take a little bit to get through it now. So yep, so he takes the flank of the horde here, which we knew. He goes into the butcher there. He's just positioning. He decides that fighting these guys doesn't really do him anything. Also, if he fought them and the center up, he would be in range of the soul flares out on the left. So he withdraws and then sidesteps in order to get out of the 16-inch charge threat over here. On the right, I had pushed him back into the woods. He walks back out of the woods. And then over here, he maneuvers and positions outside of 16 inches over this direction. So he's just, playing playing smart with these guys, just causing a nuisance and everything. But in my mind right now, I'm good with just the delays, and as long as these butchers don't get into a position where they effectively box out the units that I need to get into the zone for the unit strength purposes at the end of the game, I'm going to be happy just because if I can run in there on turn 5 or even turn 6, these butchers don't have enough time to punch through this unit unless I guess he could do it with these guys as well, but he might be putting himself in a position to get flanked. So that's kind of my loose plan over here is just keep delaying and then eventually get the unit strength over here. And on this combat here, again, we're just keep delaying. He's up to 8 wounds, but he's going to try to kill the regiment. Yeah, and this is where we end up. So I did get the hex off the last turn, but he was in such a position where he could heal that unit again. So the 8 wounds it was at, it regened maybe 1, I think. It was a poor regen, but then he cast heal and he got 5 wounds back, which caused 10 wounds onto the planer. Which I'm happy with. I'm okay with because I do have the ability to get a Mind Screech up on this hill and see him over this cluster that's happening. So yeah, I'll take that. So he does kill the regiment, and the reform looks like so. He does kill that horde and reforms. And yeah, his regiment here was unable to accomplish anything because it couldn't withdraw an inch, couldn't do anything. It was wavered. So, yeah. So this is my turn 4, and this is how we're looking. And Jonathan's under 10 minutes left here. And he has the bottom of the turn, obviously. So at this point, I know, yeah, I'm playing my game, but I do know that Jonathan's in some time trouble here, and so we just need to kind of keep the tension, make it to where it's not super easy options for him. Just try to utilize the advantages we have, which time clock is definitely one of them. So yeah, positioning wise, we charge out of the force with the Dreadfiend. I think we're in a good spot. We eliminate the Thunder. We're gonna hold this unit back here. There's no nimble charges or ways for him to get around me. So we've effectively locked down this unit in my mind. So we got that. We charge the flank of this unit here because of where we were positioned. And then my soul flares here, there's no need to really move at this point. I just maintain outside of 12 inches here. I am somewhat gambling that we get at least a waiver, hopefully a kill on this unit. Otherwise, they are going to be, able to charge off and do some nasty stuff against me. But I don't really have much for shooting options over here, so I jump the one Mind Screech up on the hill to try and I'm actually going to Mind Fog this turn because I don't want to risk not doing a wound. So I'm going to Mind Fog, and then I just run the other one over here. My thought is it's going to be more useful unit strength wise to be in the center. My hope is that the left is going to be completely empty, and then it's just going to be one of these Mind Screeches probably over here. The other one, I'll probably be jumping in the center, but in the meantime, if I run over here, if those that troop of phantoms on the right is still around, I can always try to pop it with some lightning bolts. So, and then we're just maintaining engagement here. So, because I feel like I have this under control here, um, yeah, I actually turned this troop around towards the center. I think my main reasoning is he has more threats over here, and yeah, I think I really want this unit to be able to see both directions, but I turn it towards the center, just because I do know this is turn 4, so next turn on turn 5, I'd really like to open up the center, so that way on turn 6 I can make sure I'm in there. Positioning on the right hand side, we're only charging in with the portal into this horde. Again, if I just maintain this, his big units behind are not getting in. He has a horde of butchers that have been sitting here waiting patiently. He has the horde of butchers that came from the right that are finally over in the middle. And he still has these soul flares back here, which I'm just not going to give a charge to unless it's scarecrows. So. And then on the right, we push forward. We say, okay, we're outside of the rear charge threat here, so we'll take a single charge from the butchers. That's their only charge. They can't get through there. The phantoms can charge the front of my um, what's called soul flares. But my soul flares are gonna push these guys back into the forest again, so it'll be a hindered charge at the very least if they do charge out, and then I should be able to take out the troop of phantoms with the soul flares and hopefully survive 2 turns with my units for the purposes of trading. And I could always reposition this Dread Fiend out this way once we get engaged in order to help guarantee winning this flank. So Mind Fog works successfully. We take off the planer. We do a few wounds over here, get him up to 8, and waver him again. So just hounds get wavered all day, every day until they die. So we finally kill this unit off here. This is actually skip ahead, so apologize, but I kill that unit off there. Nothing else dies. And then on Johnathon's turn, he backs up and positions to where he can get the butchers into the flank of my Flesh Ripper. But that forced him to have to back off. Or he had to back off and sidestep with the portal, who's up to 7 wounds, and that's after Radiance. He had to back off and sidestep with the Horde. So he's, disengaging with 2 other units in order to flank a Butcher and then end up in this position here with his Butchers. So this is after he had already killed it. So yeah, apologize for skipping forward with some what's called photos, but Johnathon was running low on time. I was trying to be engaged as much as possible here. So effectively, I had wind blasted his unit. He decided just to hold back, which allowed me to just jump in, dogpile, because this is fast forwarding to turn 6, I believe now. So everything else is jumping in, or actually, this is turn 5. This is my 5 after movement and everything. So, anyway, but Johnathon wasn't able to kill anything. He was just kind of jammed up everywhere, and he decided that it was a losing proposition over here, so he just kind of backed off. I think he was short on time, so he needed to make a decision, and he didn't have the time to really think all the way through everything there. But so after the butcher unit charge, they were really locked in with what they could do. They turned around to look at the tormentors off on the far left. So I flanked with the unit and front charged here. The Mind Screech is actually was on the hill, so it could see over. It actually charges the Soul Flares in order to block them up for a turn, hopefully allowing these units to get into combat after that. Didn't have anything better for this unit to do. It was likely going to get charged, so I charged in. I did have the ability to do a I think it's a triple charge on this unit, and then the soul flares were just in to hit this unit here. So we're going to try to break open the line here on turn 5, like I had mentioned. For the plan was for turn 4. So, and then we're still engaging over there. So unfortunately, again skipping forward with pictures, I did 17 wounds, and I rolled snake eyes on the butcher horde. I did successfully do a couple wounds to that unit. We did some wounds there. Great. I was able to kill the um, portal, but I was not able to kill the horde. So yeah, this is actually my turn now after he had moved. So again, apologize. So Johnathon clocked out in his bottom of 5. I allowed him to just finish out the combat phase he was in, and yeah, so he countercharged the troop of tormentors, killed them. The horde hit the troop of tormentors, killed them, and I believe that was everything that he was able to get in combat with. Because this is after my movement here, so then on my turn, I I had wavered that again, by the way. Oh, and he charged these wraiths or the phantoms into my soul flares. These soul flares are charging them in the flank now. So yeah, so it's at this point there's so many wounds on everything. This is just kind of cleanup, and because Johnathon's clocked out, I don't have to really worry about any counters for his turn 6. So I am continue to fight over here. I charge here. I'm going to mind fog with this guy here. Just need to not roll snake eyes again, which there's no inspiring over on this side of the board anymore because his portal's dead and my portal's all the way over here, and I'm not going to put inspiring out here for him. So yeah, so flank, mind fogging here, maintaining the combat here. I believe I'm double charging here. I am flank charging and double front charging this horde. And then I'm not even going into combat over here. I just push everything up in range in order to do that. So, and I didn't have a charge over here. So, yeah. So we were able to kill the butchers. I killed the dogs finally. I killed the phantoms. And then I killed both the hordes. So that is exactly what we needed because even though I have both the left and the right flank, killing both of those hordes out of the middle, and all three actually, the butcher horde too, killing all those out of the middle allowed me to then win the middle for attrition as well. Even though it's not blackjack scoring, there's no extras for winning more. Yeah, that's what happened. We rolled off. There is no turn 7, so this is where it ends. So he has 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units, or 10 unit strength in the center. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then these guys are in the far left. He has 3 unit strength here. I have 3, 4, 5, 6. So I was able to control all 3 zones. And then this terrain piece is worth a bonus point. He has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 unit strength here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or maybe this is out of range. I forget if that was the case or not. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So I was able to, or no, I sidestepped. That's what it was. I got two more unit strength there, so I won. So two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine to his eight. So I was able to control the terrain piece for the +2 bonus. So in the end, I had a +1 point for attrition, and I had two more bonus points for holding the objective. The Bane Chant really didn't come into play much. We Bane Chanted like some scarecrows when we were fighting scarecrows, so we're wounding on twos. So fun. We both had plenty of units sitting kind of behind, not doing anything anyway, so we were able to utilize it. But nothing too rule breaking or game changing, as it were. So yeah, off to a solid win, 18 points in the first round. Pretty happy with it. Obviously, if Nathan had a turn to move or to fight here, this game likely looks different. Um, I probably do have different movements and things like that based off of that possibility. But yeah, Jonathan, just took a little bit too much time in deployment, and first turn he had about half of his clock down. So something that just need to be a little bit more decisive earlier in the game, so that way the late game you have the options and the ability to think through and make the proper choices. So just a lesson for all of us, because I know I've been there too. Even just this last Masters, my last game, I clocked out. So it happens to everybody. But that is game one. So off to a decent win. And yeah, we'll get game two out as soon as possible. So appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you on the next game.